Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Naven Gaming, where today we are continuing our journey through RoboCop Rogue City. Oh. So, I've been looking through my recording, and the audio doesn't seem too bad. It just looks, I guess when it's just going through the recording process, it just looks a little bad on my end. I don't know. I've only seen bits and pieces of the recording that was actually done, and just to double check on it. And what I found is that it seems to be capturing the audio fine. It just, so I think most of it is just the game itself, because the game itself seems to have like this weird internal delay with its audio. But otherwise, I've been kind of like racking my brain around that. I was also seeing if I could get a delay system set up, and there might be a way to do that. It's more easier to do it if I was streaming the game, but I'm not streaming the game, I'm recording the game. So there were things about like adjusting audio itself in the audio mixer settings, but I don't know how that works, other than it's probably adjusting the audio mixing in a very strange way. Not sure what to make of it. Anyways, I'm assuming that it delays the video along with the audio, is what I'm assuming it does, but I'm not sure how helpful that'll be. So I just haven't bothered to put that in there. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just get back into it. I just woke up. So, there's that. But otherwise,
You won't be so lucky with the next one.
RoboCop? Are you there?
I am.
Oh, thank God. How was it? Was that a risk worth taking?
anyways, but yeah, I've also just been focusing on life at the moment. It's been a bit of a hassle, but I am getting a lot of things sorted out. I'm also probably going to need to set a schedule for myself, and I'm going to be just trying to I'm just trying to get everything in working order. We have a lot of problems at my place right now. One of them being our water situation. It's truly something. Oh, shit. For whatever reason, our water situation is terrible. I mean, I know what the situation is, but for some reason, it's never been this bad before, but suddenly it is now. It's to a point to where like I haven't showered at all for a couple of days. So it's I feel a little grody. Let's see. Crack that. Focusing around. Ah, interesting. Stuff a little bit harder. Gotta look for the glow in the water. One right there. But yeah, otherwise, that's just kind of been life. Let's see. I forgot I have this. Both. But yeah, I'm eagerly waiting to play the first Berserker. That game was looking to be pretty cool when it comes out. Yeah, figured. Pretty solid level, but I decided to try anyways. You know what I would really need to do at some point?
I've told the boys to give you a proper greeting.
Shoot the mother!
Can you not? What I need to do at some point is really just kind of sit down and just
Vultures attack!
that was funny.
Get cover!
I don't know. I think I'm being a little too critical over him. over myself, but I feel like at some point I do need to sit down and figure out what exactly is it that I want to like well, not really stream, but do with this channel in terms of video content. I was just thinking about just doing whatever, but depending on how slow a pace, because I planned on just getting through games pretty quickly, but you know, depending on how life tends to go, now that I'm also taking some schooling lessons, I'm taking online courses for programming. Oh. Anyways, I'm taking online courses for programming. And balancing that with life and all of the issues going on there is hasn't been too terrible so far, but it has made getting to this a bit more troublesome because I still don't have a whole lot of time to do everything, but at least I have the ability to like time manage, and now that everything's more so anyways, now that everything's a bit more my overall point is that I just need to figure out a way how to manage my time. And again, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, and maybe it doesn't matter like how fast I crank out videos and get through things, as long as I just, you know, as long as I'm consistently doing it. What kind of secrets do we have here? Not all that glitters. Good stock, designation, low grade weapon cases 30, police car wheel trims, high grade weapon cases, tires, nuke boxes, helmets. Is that all I needed? Guess so. Alright, onwards. Right. What should I add the skills into this time? Try enemies for a short time. Oh, a shield. That's kind of interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let me see. feel like upgrading this a little bit would be beneficial since how many times I've been coming across this problem so far. Yep. Oh, wow. That's like a... That is a dash. That is a dash. A literal dash. Damn. They made these mines pretty close together, didn't they? Alright, entering building. Oh yeah, another reason why it's been a while since I did a bit of recording was that now that my schedule has officially changed, it's I had an idea for a video that I was gonna do that ended up not panning out. It wasn't gonna be anything like wasn't really gonna be anything like game related. It was more so gonna be it was more so gonna be a video idea focusing on a specific topic. But I ended up not making that video because I found that there was a lot more problems with that video, and among other things. And so I thought, is this too controversial? Is it not that controversial? Like, are these takes bad? You know, like I was debating about whether or not if I should even make the video. I don't think my takes were bad. I don't think my takes were anywhere close to being bad. I think I had a pretty okay take on the whole situation, but oh, this is where that officer was. Briggs's gear and his assault rifle from the looks of it. I just ultimately decided not to do that because, you know, like at some point, it's like I think I did this more so as a spur of the moment thing, not actually, and I'm not actually doing it a with a reasonable level of intention. I feel like I was doing it more so simply because I was more so outraged about certain things or certain aspects of it. Walk through this wall. So yeah, I just ended up like cutting the idea. Maybe one day I'll revisit it for a future topic, but it's really not even anything that was that important. You know, you just see a lot of topics come up sometimes, and it's just like, you know, you feel like you just want to, you know, like you just kind of want those topics to go away or just end because they're always pedantic as shit. But it's
RoboCop, your body temperature is very low. Are you okay?
that's Briggs, isn't it?
I am in the freezer.
What is the freezer even doing there?
Holy crap!
They used it to store Briggs' body.
Oh,
not the only victim.
More bodies? That's insane. I'm getting you back up, even if it gets me in trouble.
The only person who should expect trouble is Spike.
What you doing to the people in this place? But yeah, it's kind of been the reason why I've been kind of late on video making. It has to do with life. It has to do with the fact that I had a video idea that I was working on. I actually, because of the kind of subject matter was, I actually did something that I don't usually do, which is that I was writing a script for it. I got 20,000 characters in and of making that script, and I ended up just canning the idea because again, it feels like it's not even really a topic of discussion right now. But I get to see it brought up in certain circles to where it's just like I'm tired of this thing. I just want to, and I'm just gonna give my 2 cents on it. I'm just gonna talk about it. Just maybe if I give my 2 cents on it or whatever, and I just like maybe I could add something to the conversation. Maybe I could at least call the conversation what it is. It's stupid, but I don't know.
RoboCop, all available patrol cars are coming to support you. I've told them to meet you by the old workers building. According to reports, it's part of their headquarters.
That's also assuming.
I'm sorry it took so long. I hope you can forgive me for the freshman attitude. I was just trying to do my best.
I think he's beaming himself up a little too much himself. But no, it's at some point you kind of just have to stop and recognize that you're not in the distance. Yeah. Even I wouldn't be the first person to cover it, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing that I could really add to the conversation. I was kind of just like doing it as a spur of the moment thing, which at the moment, of course, it didn't really feel like it was.
This city needs us. We're transforming death and decay into life. That was the deal. I can hear the cavalry coming. I don't know how you did it.
Anyways,
I'll make sure
I just decided not to do it.
leaving this place alive.
It's gonna be hard to get through this. I don't have a sniper rifle. I just dropped my sniper rifle too. Damn it. I guess it auto repairs to a certain point. Keep moving, don't sit still. It's easier said than done. Mines are gonna be the death of me, along with the snipers. I'll give them credit. They're certainly trying now. Can't go that way. Way around it? Not from here. I'm gonna have to go down this way. In other related news, though, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just got released to consoles. And, well, not consoles, but PC. And I thought about maybe like doing a video for that as well, but then I thought to myself, that's already going to be like 100 hours sync. I can already guarantee it, and I know I can guarantee it because I played it on console, and it's doing everything takes over 100 hours to complete. I have the same problem with Rebirth that I do with most Ubisoft games, and that's it has way too much fluff, and I'm pretty sure if you cut off most, if not all, the Chadley missions, you can easily get a game that is several hours shorter, at least 30 to 50 hours shorter, because it's too much. I don't know if I've ever talked about it either, but I also feel like that Rebirth has the same problem. Has this.
We've cornered the bikers in the mill, but we could use some help. We're at the southeast gate.
Acknowledged. On my way.
I feel like, well, not the same problem, but I feel like that Rebirth has a problem in terms of its. In terms of, how do I put this? It's got a like a. You know how some stories, right, are great in their, in isolation, and sequels that try to capture that usually either stick to something that's a little too samey or whatever have you. There's certain instances where, like, you want more of what you had the first time, right? And most of the time that works out pretty well, right? But the problem that I have with Rebirth is that, at least for me, I feel like that it has too much of the Midgar effect. Midgar, like Final Fantasy VII Remake was pretty cool because it really fleshed out the area of Midgar. It gave you new characters. It added a lot of personality to the character that was Midgar. And so you thought, man, I can't wait to see what an open world version of this would be like, because that would be so dope to see how they try to capture that same magic, but only with the world being the character instead of Midgar, right? Well, they released Rebirth, and after playing almost up to the point of beating the game, right, until I dropped it, I felt like that the character of Gaia, which is the world of Final Fantasy VII, was basically just another Midgard, and I felt that was kind of a misstep. And it doesn't help that they had a lot of returning casts from the remake into this game, into Rebirth, which normally that'd be fine, but I feel like that a lot of the areas and locales of Rebirth were basically just they're basically just recapturing the same feeling and essence of the remake with the Midgar portion, and I felt like that was just kind of like not a very great idea. I don't know. You may disagree with me in the comments, but I feel like that Rebirth was being too much like remake, and I was expecting something just a little bit different. Just a little different. Otherwise, the story was interesting. The story was good, when I got to them. But between all the fluffing around, doing a bunch of random shit, and among other things, it's, it made getting to the story a slog. And I seriously believe they could have reduced a lot of the fluff. if they had just focused on trying to deliver story focus first. And a lot of the side objectives weren't all that interesting either. They didn't add anything new to the world. They didn't flesh anything out. They didn't give you new perspectives on things. They were just, the usual stuff of just like, go here, do this, do that, among other things. Some of it was interesting, but most of the time I was left fairly wanting.
Hey, Robo!
Good, you're here. We're standing our ground. The bikers have retreated to the yard behind that big gate. Now, let's decide on the strike team.
I go on my own. No need to risk lives.
OCP has supplied us with an ED-209. Maybe you could make use of it, even if it is just for cover.
RoboCop, can I have a moment of your time?
Can't you leave him alone, lady? You caused him enough trouble already.
Hey, I just want the people to know what's going on in their city.
Can't say she isn't good at what she does. She got here before us. Anyway, it's up to you. If you need a bit of time to speak with her or wrap up anything else around here, it's not a problem. Those bikers aren't going anywhere. But if you're ready to go, ED-209 is here for your support. Just say the word.
I am going now. I've done pretty much everything around here.
Their time is up. I am going in.
Good luck, Murphy.
Eliminate more enemies than your competitor to pass the efficiency challenge. Grants additional experience points during RoboCop's evaluation. Interesting. Alright.
Ed-209 and RoboCop fighting hand in hand? I can't wait to see how this goes.
So you brought a friend, huh? I get that. Wouldn't be such a bad idea if it wasn't another stupid robot.
Thing has way too much mass. Holy crap. I feel like RoboCop, I should be impervious to the problem of recoil.
Put down your weapon.
So far, the robot's killing things faster than I am. Buddy. Got a 5 kill advantage on me so far.
Please put down your weapon.
And he's already making it to the next area. Alright.
Ed-209 won that round, huh? I was not expecting that.
Cool.
I'm guessing you're close to catching Spike. Maybe he could lead us to Wendell. If those two struck a secret deal, no wonder Wendell ditched the punks. Anyway, be careful in there. I wouldn't be surprised if that slime had more tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, probably could have kept up, probably could have won it if I did not use that rifle. Or maybe if I just didn't zoom in so much on it. Because the recoil seemed to have gotten a little better when I wasn't zoomed in on it.
Stop him, goddammit!
Get ready to roll.
Is there a point to doing that? There is. Nope, can't go out there.
There's gotta be a way out of this. It can't end like this.
Oh, we found our biker gang leader.
You got the cop killer.
You decided to trespass on our turf, and that shit doesn't fly with us.
What's that noise?
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
The situation is under control.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Stand back.
I'll do one better, cop. I'm out of here.
You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4,
I said everything is under control.
1.
Ed,
I am
stand
now
there.
authorized to use physical force.
Okay. What just happened there?
Put down your weapon.
Hey, what's going on over there?
I am under attack from Ed 209.
What? Okay. Let me see if I can help. I'm pretty sure I saw its documentation here in the precinct. Be right back. Okay, listen to this. Apparently, Ed 209 speaker cover is often reported compromised after field duty. Why don't you try making that your target?
Robot versus robot.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
what is he doing? Eh. That was weird. I forget that. What happened to me just a second ago? Fucking slow down time, and suddenly everything just started wigging the fuck out.
Hey, what's going on over there?
I am under attack.
What? Okay. Let me see if I can help. I'm pretty sure I saw its documentation here in the precinct. Be right back. Okay, listen to this. Apparently, Ed 209 speaker cover is often reported compromised after field duty. Why don't you try making that your target?
There we go.
What the hell happened here?
Ed 209 malfunctioned.
Is he still alive?
I am afraid not.
OCP.
God, I'd be surprised if he was.
Bet they did that on purpose. And what about the other cop killer? Where did Spike go?
Wherever he went, justice will find him.
New skill point available. Don't say.
My wife. She was with me when they started shooting.
I am looking for a female officer who arrived yesterday with a gunshot wound.
You need to be a little more specific, honey.
Her
And
name
is Lewis?
She is in a coma.
Ah, second floor. Take the elevator.
Sir, you're not allowed in there. That's the VIP section of the hospital.
But there's so much room in there, and we're all cramped up in this little space.
Sir, please calm down.
I'd imagine this hospital gets a lot of use. Secret admirer? You wouldn't answer, and I was dying to tell you that. The policeman was here again. He left chocolates for her and asked me not to tell anyone it was for him from him. It's so cute. I'm looking forward to seeing if his little advances are reciprocated, as when that poor policewoman wakes up from her coma. The guy seems nice, except for that awful haircut. Talk about Lewis. Been visiting her, like Ulysses? I doubt it. Not like he would know anything about her. Definitely not RoboCop, because you think you know what a haircut.
She's right in here.
You?
Another visitor? She's in a stable condition. You know, some think that people in her state can hear what's happening around them even if they don't respond. Why don't you try talking to her? Now, I'll leave you two alone.
Okay.
Hello, Lewis. Allow me to update you on our case. I know you would hate to be behind on the investigation. I found Officer Briggs. He is dead. Wendell Antonowski has the street vultures collecting bodies. His intent is not clear. I opened your present. It helped. Thank you. I could really use your advice, Lewis.
Take the body downstairs.
But there's no more room in the morgue.
Didn't you hear someone stole a bunch of bodies over the weekend?
A corpse thief? What is this world coming to?
Lewis, you always find a way to help.
Just want to steal corpses. Who wants to steal corpses?
I'll keep her safe. Don't you worry about her.
You were right here this whole time. You heard this conversation. Why didn't you go investigate? Fucking I could hear it out from in there, and then you could too.
What's her blood pressure?
I've got 40 pow.
Course VFib. Okay, we gotta shock him.
Let's get the ambu bag.
Stand clear. Shock him.
Clear.
All right, no pulse. Let's go intracardiac epinephrine.
Okay, everybody, clear.
Stand clear. All right, I think that's all we can do. Let's call it. What's the time?
6:15.
They pronounced him dead, but he's still alive. As a robot.
I'm guessing you're here about the missing bodies? No one from the police has come to talk to us yet. I suppose you are preoccupied with the living rather than the dead.
Tell me about the case.
Usually, we're pretty packed. There are even some bodies that have been here since Christmas. But a couple of nights ago, someone broke into the hospital and stole 30 of them. It's been a blessing in disguise, really. We've got so many unclaimed bodies that I feel like I'm starting to form relationships with them.
Is there any link between the bodies?
Actually, there is. Our thieves were very picky. All of the corpses had their brains intact. They didn't take a single corpse that had documented brain trauma. I've got to say they were very thorough.
Anything else?
That's it for me, but talk to the security guard in the lobby. He should know more. Now that I'm looking at you, didn't I work on you? I recognize that jawline.
You probably did. Interesting. All the individuals whose bodies were stolen were healthy, physically fit prior to their deaths. Apparently, someone on the black market needs brains, but for what? For brain transplants? No one has made a successful brain transplant since, well, RoboCop. I think that answers a lot of questions, and we know that the Antonovsky guy was kind of admiring, but also belittling RoboCop. He liked the potential and idea behind RoboCop, but he didn't like the prospect of being under control or under the influence of other entities other than, you know, maybe himself. And I think that might speak to the true deeper uh sort of intention behind this, and that's that Antonovsky probably plans to put himself in his own cybernetic body, which that's going to be an interesting idea. We'll be able to pull it off. Who knows? But be the direction we're going here. Although to be honest, a more unhinged and like does whatever they want, sort of like crime boss in a RoboCop aesthetic suit would be pretty fascinating. Also, kind of compelling as a villain. And we'll give the creators that sort of credit.
Sure, I know I'm just a security guard, but I know how you operate. I've seen the shows, so let me break it down for you the way you'd understand. I estimate the incident occurred at around 300 hours. Multiple perps entered the GMH from the east and then proceeded to the BLE. Then most likely used the EFS to get down to the MORGUE.
What can you tell me about the perps?
We caught there later.
You caught him? Where is he?
Oh, I mean on camera. There it is. Caucasian male, late 40s, dapper dresser, if I can say so myself.
Yeah, that figures.
That was very helpful. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. Just because I don't have a badge or a service weapon or a cruiser and partner or even a bulletproof vest, that doesn't mean that I can't be of help to the police.
So yeah, I think it's very obvious what's going on here. I think he plans to make himself a synthetic body, but he needs test subjects in order to be able to perfect the technology. And so 30 intact brains would certainly help with that goal. Now, the real question, of course, is how exactly does he plan to do this? What form will it take? And I'm kind of curious to see as to how that would play out video game wise. But overall, it's a pretty interesting idea. Bit of a nemesis, a rival character that functions very similarly to yourself. Been done in many forms of media. Some might argue to death, but it's a very compelling concept. Just like the underdog story, it's always been a compelling concept since the dawn of time.
Good to see you in one piece, Robo. Mr. Becker wasn't happy when he heard about your little trip to Highland Park. But between you and me, what you did was quite impressive. Maybe it wasn't an authorized mission, but it can still give us an idea of how your systems are holding up. So, let's see how you did.
I think I did all right, all things considered. Alright, got all the objectives done. Got an A rank. Not too bad.
Thank you for your cooperation. What's all the commotion?
Emotion? Alright, we got 3 skill points. We could go all the way up to the next tier if we wanted to in engineering. So I think I will. I can open up safes whenever I want to. I don't have to worry about any other bullshit. Facts from Baby Maid? Dear Mr. Becker, we were extremely flattered after hearing that RoboCop's main source of sustenance is our delicious baby food. That is why we wanted to present you with an opportunity for a collaboration. We would like to make RoboCop the face of Baby Maid. Who wouldn't want their child to grow up to be a real-life superhero? In exchange, we would offer a free supply of Baby Maid, as much as you could ever need. Please contact us. Veronica Gura, I guess. Baby Maid Salesman Marketing. Yes, because we want our baby food to be associated with how do I put this? Specifically with the murder, death, and slaughter of the criminal element. You could argue that you're just enforcing the law, but I think we can all agree that it's pretty excessive, even if it is warranted.
This is not the time. You all know the procedure by now. Officer Cecil will gather Briggs' belongings and deliver them to the family. They asked for a small funeral, so I expect everyone to give the family space.
Briggs was one of us. We should at least do something to honor him.
Best thing we can do is get those butchers that did this to him. I want to see everyone in the briefing room in 10 minutes. Now back to work.
I like how they're going as far as to add.
How's Lewis?
Unconscious, but stable.
She'll pull through. I'm sure of it.
It's time to hold OCP accountable. This can't keep happening.
Relax, Kaplan.
He's not wrong.
How many more of us have to end up in the hospital or a morgue before we do something?
It's like Sarge said, we need to get the guy who did it, so maybe let's focus on that? Speaking of which, there's someone who might know something. There's a guy in the jail that wants to talk to you, Robo.
Fascinating. But yeah, it's interesting that they are consistently trying to flesh out the police station and RoboCop's relationships with the world, and not just RoboCop himself, and not just the criminal elements either. So that's interesting. I mean, you'd figure that they probably would focus on trying to build up the background cast of characters, especially when it comes to law enforcement, but I feel like they're doing a pretty good job at actually like establishing certain like key figures and characters.
First of all, I wanted to say I'm sorry that I hesitated back at that steel mill. I already filed a report on the incident to Mr. Becker. Fucking rat. As I was writing it, I'd noticed a lot of opportunities to better myself. But considering that was our first mission together, it wasn't all bad, right?
Proved yourself valuable.
You helped plenty.
Still a long way to go. I've been getting to know different aspects of being a cop, and there's one thing that I keep underperforming at. It's shooting. Would you mind showing me how you practice at the range?
Yes, ask the fucking the 6'5", 100-ton robot with essentially aim guidancing systems to show you how to properly aim. I mean, that's not how it plays actually, but that's exactly what he's asking.
Yes, practice makes perfect. Let us not waste any more time.
You want to go now? Yeah, great. Let's go.
Sure.
I love the smell of this room. Should we start? First, I want to watch you practice.
Okay, kid.
comment now?
No.
I can't help myself. That was awesome.
We are not done yet.
Right. This has to be some sort of record.
It is not.
Single shot, I don't have to worry too much about wasting the entire mag.
I took so many notes.
Next time, do it quietly. Eliminate distractions. Being overeager is one of them.
Ah, so that's the actual lesson. Now I get it.
Is your service weapon properly prepared?
I was issued this old gun and serviced it according to the manual.
I will try it out.
Sure thing. There you go.
Gotta make sure the kid's safe, I guess.
Huh. Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's shooting off.
This weapon is broken.
I calibrated it. I did everything the manual said.
It is beyond repair. They must have issued it to you by mistake.
Huh. I don't think that's entirely true. Other cops give me a hard time because Mr. Becker hired me to monitor you. But I guess that's the way it has to be.
Be proactive, kid. Get a different gun.
A cop must be ready. Get a different gun.
Sure. Thank you, Robo.
So is Decker or somebody else trying to set him up to failure? Because that's a little bit fucked up.
There's my favorite law enforcement officer.
Ah, it's Pickles.
Why are you in this cell?
I come here to think sometimes, and the food is better than in the soup kitchen.
That's an interesting reason to want to get yourself thrown in a slammer.
That is called freeloading.
If it's free, I'll take it. But seriously, I was hoping to see you. I heard what happened to Briggs. After
Yeah, that figures.
what you did for me, I'll do whatever I can to help you catch that Wendell guy. He seems pretty good at pitting people against each other. Maybe I'll find some of his dissatisfied customers who'd be willing to talk to me.
It could be dangerous.
You kidding? On the streets, I'm a samurai. Well, with Briggs dead, it probably makes me more of a...
You are not a Ronin.
Yeah, okay. Just remember, if you need anything, I'm your guy.
Wonder who that guy is. Dressed a little too cleanly to be in here. Whatever.
into balaclavas that are now commonly used to protect the identity of liquor store robbers. As a result, we've seen an unprecedented spike in crime.
Wonderful.
Deliberately making me look like a fool.
You mean you are a fool? Well, that's another mayor that's been turned into a fool. So yeah. Man, the California situation. I don't know how the fires are at the time of this recording, but gotta tell you, mayor's saying that they would never leave the state of California for whatever reason, suddenly found during a major fire somewhere else that isn't the state of California is pretty funny. I also like how instead of taking responsibility for the fact that nothing about the fire was prepared or even thought of ahead of time, you know, and just taking the L like a respectable person, she just is like, nah, it's a race thing. She pulls the race card because of course she does. Well, fucking idiots. Dear Mr. Starkweather, after a thorough review of your application, we regret to inform you that we are unable to offer you life insurance. Offering coverage to any police officer would not be viable for our company due to the high risk profile of the profession. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Life Wardens Co. Yeah, that checks the fuck out. A lot of fire prevention insurance companies did the same exact thing in California before the wildfires, too. It looks like they lucked out on that one, too.
Not again. Why am I always the one that has to do it? It's not fair.
What is it, officer?
Huh? I didn't realize I was talking out loud. It's just that I need to hang Briggs's picture on the memorial wall. It's just a lot. Hey, would you be so kind and help me? All you have to do is find Briggs's photo in the database and print it out. Just make sure to hang it straight. Otherwise, I won't hear the end of it from Sarge.
How could I possibly fuck that up? I'm a robot. Hmm. Oh, there he is. Painting photo.
Thanks, Murphy. I still need to go get his stuff, so, I'm gonna take care of the desk, but could you get his belongings from his locker?
Why am I the gopher? This is your fucking job. Didn't have a whole lot of things in his locker, which made it simple.
You can put everything in the box. I'll make sure his family gets it. You know, I usually do all of this alone, and it doesn't get any easier no matter how many times I do it. But having you share this responsibility with me, it actually helped. Thank you, Murphy.
Always happy to help. Reading here. Autopsy report. Descendant Michael Briggs. 42. Physical examination. Severe dehydration and exhaustion. A broken rib cage. Superficial stab wounds. Bruising suggests prior torture. Projectile wounds with damage to the internal organs. Cause of death. Multiple shots to the chest from point-blank range with handgun caliber 9mm rounds. No match with any weapon confiscated at the scene. Manner of death? Oh. Homicidal. They were probably going to use him along with the other bodies to experiment on for their cybernetic enhancement body thing. That seems like the direction they're taking this.
Thanks to RoboCop's insubordination, we finally have something concrete.
At your service.
Wendell Antonowski struck a deal with the street vultures at Highland Park.
A place where, for some reason, we weren't supposed to go.
Be that as it may, we're on the lookout for anyone from this biker gang. We also know what he's looking for.
Yeah, dead bodies.
Dead bodies whose brains are still intact, to be precise.
Wow, that's even more messed up. Why would he need them?
We'll get to the whys, but for now we need to focus on catching Spike. He's our connection to Wendell Antonowski. Since they know we're onto them, I'm expecting them to be in hiding.
They're not hiding. Put on Channel 9.
Uh-oh.
What in the hell?
Is this another public service announcement?
Bank is being robbed by the notorious street vultures. We'll keep trying to get closer for a better view.
How are we just now hearing about this?
Right, everyone back up. I want you all to be at SWAT's disposal.
Sergeant, am I back on the case?
I don't think Becker will give me grief if I let you go save OCP's money. You're reinstated. Everyone, move out!
I'd imagine fucking not.
Oh, look at that. One of the cops was actually bothered to show up. No need, SWAT's got it covered.
What is the situation?
Vultures came up with the great idea of robbing the OCP bank. They've got hostages, and they claim there's a bomb. They must be crazy to think that OCP will just let them leave with their money.
Was there any sighting of Spike?
Not yet. But I'm sure they wouldn't pull such a stunt without their leader.
What is the plan?
Let me make this clear. It's SWAT's plan. You're no part of it.
Then you are going to need a new plan.
Ah.
With this buggy brain of yours? You think you still remember how to put the heat on them scumbags?
I prefer to serve justice cold.
Is that a pun? Are we doing puns now? I suppose he's always been kind of like that. Puns, quips, jokes.
Let's see who tags the most perps.
Contact! Contact! Let's show our metal friend how it's
Prepared for that this time.
Stand your ground! Cover me! Continue forward! Hurry up! Cover me! Keep moving! Take him down! Continue forward!
What are you guys shooting at? I see him, but
Resisting! Well done. RoboCop, open the gate for the M209 units. We'll secure the area.
all right.
I can see your bank job turned out to be quite intense. Ed 209's behaving themselves?
So far, so good.
You should be heading towards the vault. It's through the office area.
Exactly how is this fair? I'm fighting against robots now. With heavily multiple robots with heavy fucking weaponry. You just to keep up.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
There's an armored gate in lockdown mode in front of you. Find a way to get past it. Try finding the weakest spot in the wall around the gate and breach through that.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Neutralized! We thought you were getting cold feet. Come on, boys. I'm on it! Finish up here, show 'em what it means to be a team player. Advance! Advance! I'm on it! Requesting backup! Keep firing! Don't act like you're all that impressive. With all that fancy tech, a brick would know how to shoot.
Oh no, I got beaten the last time. All right. Nice. Oh boy. Pistol.
RoboCop, I've received information that the bank manager is held hostage in the vault.
Where exactly is it?
Find the manager's office, and we'll go from there. It's at the far end of the office area.
Great. Andrea. In the envelope is the letter I mentioned. Please frame it for me so I can keep it on my desk. I still can't believe that our noble founder wrote that letter to personally thank me for 25 years of my faithful service managing his bank. What a great man. Sure.
Your presence here is unauthorized.
So is depriving thousands of people of a roof over their heads. But OCP doesn't seem to mind that.
Explain.
Delta City. A heaven on earth that OCP plans to build in place of old Detroit? A city of the future where there is no crime or poverty. Do you believe the commercials?
I am focused on making the city safe.
I am working on the no crime part.
Then OCP may become the object of your attention soon. In order to create Delta City, OCP must first get rid of people who live in old Detroit. Now that's a topic I'd rather do a story on than you glitching. OCP offered these people investment in the project. The value of their property would cover the cost of entering the business. The later gains will far outweigh the cost, supposedly.
You do not believe that.
It's OCP. There must be a catch, and I think I found it. The documents say something about additional costs. I believe that's a loophole that OCP placed in order to scam people out of their homes.
That is only suspicion.
And I need time to prove that my suspicion is true. Time and some of these documents I found. If you detain me, the SWAT jerks will requisition them.
Interesting dilemma. So, OCP might be up to something nefarious with the Delta City projects, probably doing the same thing that most companies are doing nowadays, which is they're buying not private homes, but they're buying homes to then lease off to unsuspecting prospective buyers of the property. But this is a little different. This is literally, we're going to tear down the city to make a new one in its place. And they are probably going to go through the means of literally buying people out, and if they can't buy them out, they'll just illegally or questionably force them off the property. This all sounds very, very highly suspect. And though I'm not one to really have any sort of respect for journalists, this is something that I can actually get behind. And she's actually a more respectable journalist than most journalists these days. Especially not the fucking armchair keyboard warrior types who like to blog all the time. So, you can definitely go.
You can go, but if you continue to disobey the law, you will be detained.
Maybe I should have treated you more like a police officer than OCP's property. Anyway, the city owes you. And I owe you too.
I can see you've reached the manager's office. Great. Now look for a switch that unlocks the doors that lead to the vault. If I was
Yeah, I see that.
I would probably ask for that switch to be installed somewhere around my desk.
I mean, this one with like a nice case that says security with a big red button on it?
Now, take the doors behind the desk and turn left. The way to the vault should be open now.
And how the hell do you know all this, Ulysses?
I will not contribute to depriving my grateful employer of his hard-earned savings.
We're opening this vault with or without your help, you old nut job.
What is this? RoboCop! I knew our founder would send his best.
We're not done yet.
Mr. Becker, you're still alive.
He's still here?
Played dead, so I didn't end up like you, with a bomb strapped to my body.
RoboCop, you have to defuse it. The explosion could cause the company enormous losses.
Engineering 4. I do have engineering for this. Great learning opportunity for an ambitious officer.
An opportunity for an ambitious officer.
I'll be watching you from a safe distance.
Officer Washington, I am looking at a ticking bomb.
A bomb? Okay, I'm passing you through to the bomb squad.
There is no time. I will need your help to defuse it.
Gosh, I mean, I'll do my best, but just give me a moment. First aid, kidnapping...
Are you looking for a bomb defusing chapter in the police manual?
Found it. First rule, call qualified personnel. Oh, no. Okay, tell me what you see.
Four connectors with different voltage.
What's the highest voltage?
24 volts. 4 cables, green, 2 reds, and blue.
4 cables? Got it.
It is a C4 explosive and seems to be homemade.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect from the street vultures.
Cables lead to the fuse.
Does the fuse appear to be electronic?
Affirmative.
Okay, so they used this kind of bomb before. According to the diagram, you should detach 3 cables. Start from the one with the highest voltage, then proceed down one at a time to the one with the lowest voltage.
There are 2 different color 12-volt cables. Which one do I detach first?
Okay, maybe this isn't the time, but I'm colorblind.
My database could be of use.
Based on my engineering database, I have determined that the order of detaching the 12-volt cables is irrelevant.
So you knew all along?
I thought you may learn something here.
Okay, then start with the 24-volt connector, then proceed to detach the 12-volt cables.
Interesting. You just have to wing it and hope that you're making the right decision. Alright, so we start with the 24 first. And then the order of the 12 volts is irrelevant. Red. Bomb disarmed. Nice.
It was just a minor incident. Ready to get back to business? 'Cause I need to make a withdrawal. Like now.
Well, I should really check upstairs.
Nonsense. This is OCP. Money comes first. Now, open the vault.
There you go, sir.
Great. Now out of my way.
They stole all your money. Wouldn't be surprised. Yep.
What the hell is this? Where is all the money?
Our founder has most of our capital tied up in a very ambitious and resource-heavy project.
I can't believe old man's blowing all of OCP's money on Delta City.
Have some respect, young man.
Arnold, back with the money in the next... We're leaving.
You should be proud to work for such a great man.
At this rate, soon there might be no one left to work for him. See what I'm talking about?
Chasing the perpetrators. And they must have been at it for a while. Just getting started.
You're out of the bank already?
I am in pursuit of the remaining bikers. I have followed them into a tunnel.
So that's how they must have gotten here in the first place. It seems they're retreating into the old industrial area. That must be where they've hidden their getaway vehicle. You gotta hurry.
I found a stolen wallet. Find enough of these, can you?
RoboCop, there's a deserted warehouse nearby. It's the only building with street access in the area, and it's big enough to store their vehicle. It's your best bet to proceed there.
Roger that.
Uh-huh. Hey, buddy. Nice bike you got there. I imagine a biker gang would love their bikes so much. They just become one with them. That's it? Moving on. Anything here stolen on the ground? No. exactly made of armor, but never tried this one before. Ah, I got in my way.
Pick up, goddammit! Anyone listening to this?
Men are dead.
I am listening, Creep.
RoboCop!
Creep.
Why did Wendell Antonowski send you here? This was a suicide mission.
I don't know. I think this went pretty well.
We had an agreement. We held our end of it. And apparently it slipped his mind to pay us for our services. Well, that didn't sit well with us. So now we're out to get what we're owed.
The only thing you are owed is a prison cell.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm a vulture. I need my space. I'll see you around, cop.
Don't mess with the money.
Before the attack, we all thought our money would be safe at the OCP bank.
Yeah, glad we got Murphy on our team.
I have pertinent information regarding the case.
We'll get to that, Murphy. But right now, it's time for your psych evaluation. Becker will chew my ear off if I don't make sure you take part in it. So go. Dr. Blanche is already waiting in the observation room. Once it's over, join us in the briefing room.
Gotta go talk to the therapist.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Piece of junk taser blew the fuse when I tried to charge it. RoboCop, is that you? I can't see anything.
I
Is he fine?
in front of you, Officer O'Neill. Is there a problem?
OCP skimps on everything when it comes to the police. Fired our maintenance guy to reduce their costs, so now we are literally in the dark.
Oh, fucking literally. Tell me about it.
Equipped to deal with such situations.
Follow the cables. They should take you to the fuse box.
Sure, why not? Oh yeah, you're gonna go ahead and quit? Great. Who's gonna get to replace you? Nobody. What do you mean? Go ask the supervisors. What do you, why isn't he getting replaced? Oh, we just don't have the hours. He's right there. He still exists. Yeah, but we just don't have the hours. Circuit breakers appear to be misaligned. I don't think this is how electric power works. Just as a bit of a thing. I just don't think it works that way. It just resets every day, I guess. Every time I come back.
Oh, that's Detroit's shining beacon of hope.
Thanks for the help, Murphy.
Yep. Let's get that out of the way. There's something special about doing this all the time. Other than maybe getting experience points. Oh. Before it even got up. Damn. 5. Yeah, you don't seem to get anything special for doing it, I don't imagine. I don't know.
I'm ready for you, Robo.
I'm afraid not. Looks like OCP is really cutting costs where it can.
All right.
God knows
Let's
what
see
they'll
what's
cut next.
cooking under the hood. Once I'm done, he's all yours, Doctor.
Oh boy. Bank secret? Bank intruder arrested? They're talking about the journalist. Secret 1 found, secret 2 found. I didn't know there were secrets that need to be found. B.
Hello, RoboCop. Congratulations. I've seen your accomplishment on TV. I hope that I'll manage to remain professional despite sitting opposite a celebrity. How do you feel about being acclaimed as a hero again?
I do not do it for fame.
I serve the public trust. I do not do it for fame.
No. Your sense of duty is what drives you, that's clear. I'm sure you'd love to share this accomplishment with Anne Lewis. You've seen her at the hospital, haven't you? How is she?
She is stable.
You cherish that relationship, don't you? She's an important part of your life. Your past life, too.
She is.
Just like your family. You're very protective of your past.
OCP cut me off from my family.
And how do you view their decision to separate you from them?
These are interesting decisions. I'm gonna say it was for the best.
They would not want to see me like this.
Perhaps not. But the alternative isn't much better. Nevertheless, you still think about them, don't you? What comes to mind when you try to remember your family? I see. Memories can be painful, especially when they're connected to the ones you love. They tend to remind us of what we're missing. The thief that broke into my house I mentioned before? He was my brother. He was an addict who'd come over to steal things to sell so he could buy drugs. As you can imagine, my last memory of us together is not a happy one. But despite that, I still wouldn't want to lose it. It serves as a reminder of how I failed him. And I've been trying to rectify it ever since.
I do not remember my family. I can only feel them.
These feelings, how do they manifest themselves?
As a system failure? Mostly?
As system failure. But OCP sees them as obstacles that need to be removed.
And now you're afraid that they sent me here to convince you they are right?
Did they?
What you need to understand is that regardless of outside influences, my client's well-being takes highest priority. Especially now that I understand how important these memories are to you, I will fight for you in every way I know how. If you let me. I think this is a good place to end this session. Thank you for your honesty. It certainly has been noted. I've got plenty to think about for now.
Interesting. I like how there isn't just one choice routes for these things. There's always something, there's always like a bit of a multiple choice to it. Okay, RoboCop vision instantly marks every enemy in sight. Hmm. Motion skill duration. Oh, let's get that up. Yep. Go ahead and take a look at the Auto 9. Let's see. Got new stuff on the board. For the board. What is this? Piercer. Bullets improve effectiveness against armored enemies. Continuous fire rounds when the trigger is pulled. Auto function. Weapon damage. Mostly focuses on armor piercing, damage, weapon spread, and reload speed. This one seems to primarily focus on damage. Automatic ammo feeder, no need to load. Some rounds may split, dealing more damage at short range. And then the last one. Damage. Increased damage dealt, no critical hits. I have a chip for that. Unfortunately, it does do that. %, reduces it considerably. I say reset. We're going to change the board. Alright, let's switch it to this one. This one has more damage modifiers. Let's see. So the power starts here at magazine capacity. See, I'm gonna try merging some chips here to see if I can get anything a little stronger. Yeah. Start merging all the useless ones to make them more useful. $21, not bad. $20. I have a lot of chips to work with, so we could just go down this list. The problem, of course, you could easily see is that it'll eliminate a lot of the variety, potentially, but freaking the more I get and the more I merge, eventually get to a nice heaping helping. Almost a comfortable radius. All right. I think we'll do that just about here. All right. Back to the PCB board. What do we got here? In higher. Several. Few things. Ah, you know what? Actually, I just realized a problem here. Don't want to do that. No, I had one that would have worked perfectly for this. Just like I thought. Doing myself a disservice. Alright. So just a one direct. Be fine. All right. Further eliminating spread. I just need one for that. That'll work. Unfortunately, do not have anything for this without it screwing something up. Oh, yeah. Big problem is that there's no armor seen from the looks of it, which is interesting. I see armor as being the biggest point, but it might come into play pretty quickly here. We won't know until we get into the battle. Back into the action.
Yeah, just keep following the road.
But the road ends here.
What was that? You're breaking up.
Am I? I'm hearing you clearly.
Oh my god, what a lemon.
You two seem to be enjoying yourselves.
Just having a little fun with our fellow dispatcher.
Don't worry, I'm sure the kid has a sense of humor. It's just a little blue hazing. And he's an OCP stooge anyway.
You're not going soft on us, are you, Murphy?
That did not sound like fun to me.
That did not sound like fun.
It's not like he didn't deserve it.
You know that he runs to Becker with a stack of papers every time you two talk, right? He's a rat.
We're just looking out for you, Murphy.
I can look out for myself. But I appreciate the sentiment. This is not how I want it to go, though.
In a relatively smooth fashion. So what did we learn from it?
When it's their money on the line, OCP will send RoboCop, the entire SWAT team, and a bunch of Ed 209s that actually work.
Anything else?
Wendell Antonowski no longer deals with the street vultures.
That's a really nice point.
There's a rift in their midst, and I want to know why.
Spike has proven to be talkative under suitable conditions.
That's why I want you all to head to the city and do some actual police work. We need to find Spike. The attack on OCP Bank was a desperate move. I'm sure there's plenty of theories floating around. So we need to listen to what the streets are saying to find where the vultures are hiding.
I know someone versed in street talk.
Talk to him. And, oh, I almost forgot. Murphy, once you're downtown, the old man wants to meet with you.
Oh, the old man himself? What an honor.
Yeah, he's the closest Detroit has to real-life royalty. Maybe for saving him all that money, he'll knight you or something.
Enough. Head downtown, ask around.
I expect it to be done with a crumb sword.
RoboCop! Over here! You wouldn't want to make the mayor of Detroit wait, would you?
You're the mayor?
May I help you, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, it's me who's gonna do the helping. You know John Mills, I presume? The OCP puppet who's gunning for my seat as mayor?
I've heard from a reliable source that he's planning to make you the highlight of his election bid. Judging by your expressive face, he hasn't talked to you about it yet, huh? That's what I figured. What a slimy bastard. Using your image to influence the good people of this city, and without your consent? That's clearly something that I would never do. But you know that I've always appreciated what you're doing for our city, right? So, the real question is, what are we gonna do about it together?
I don't know, this seems like a personal problem for you, but I do see how I fit into this. And I gotta say, I don't know if I like my likeness to be used and abused by just any politician. It just feels like it's convenient for them. So I think I will handle this, but I'm not gonna handle this for you. Let's see. I'm not interested in politics.
I am not involved in politics.
Well, let's not get too hasty. You can still show support for me, right? We're on the same side. I need to go. Campaign season is busy, but let me leave you with one word of advice. Whatever you do, make it clear that you are not siding with Meals. You can be sure that they'll twist your every word and use it against you. That's what OCP does. Thanks for the talk, RoboCop. Say no to Delta City. Vote for the neighborhoods. Vote for Kuzak.
Their actions have a political impact.
RoboCop is getting a face-to-face with the old man himself? I'd tell him all about how the OCP is fucking us over.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say a word if you actually met him.
Why? Did you meet him?
Last year's Thanksgiving parade, I was part of a column delegated to protecting his dog.
What? How come this is the first time I'm hearing this? Officer Ramirez, a licensed dog walker.
Shut up, Kaplan.
Hey, Shiny. Got a job for you.
How are you feeling after the incident at the bank?
Who gives a shit? I heard that you're heading to the city. Once you're out there, I want you to check one apartment for me. There's suspicion of domestic terrorism and corporate espionage, so expect a warm welcome.
Should I assume hostility from the suspect?
I assume you'll find sensitive data there. Look for it thoroughly and make sure it comes straight back to my hands. Tenement across the street from the arcade, apartment 12. Now go, I've got to prepare for a meeting. And remember, if you won't take care of it, another cop will have to. Another cop that isn't quite as resistant to deadly surprises as you are.
Okay. Sounds urgent. Wants to leave the area? Yes. Don't think there's anything else to be done. I feel like I'm walking into another shithole that it's gonna require some shooting. Sex violations, crime evidence. it all the way down this way? Oh, we're back here. Being out here during the daytime is a little different. Also very wet out here.
I hate the day shift.
Sorry to hear that. This is a normal thing. Does Chicago actually allow prostitution? Or is it just one of those things where you have to kind of pick a spot where the law enforcement isn't gonna really know or mind? Not as hard as they would in other places. Okay, so we're looking for. I wasn't even listening to what the guy was saying. So is Reed telling me that there's some type of terrorist here? Without feeding the cats in the basement, they shit all over the place.
Daddy, what was that?
Go back to your room, sweetheart. It's just someone on the staircase.
Yeah, and really heavy something on the staircase. Nuke. Man, I would hate to live in these cities. Ah. Anybody home? Huh? Trap detected. Disarm. Fascinating. Who needs to trap their house? Sticky note. This week, storage build. Pick up cat food. Take the fishmonger's statement. What? PCB chip. Relevant to the case. I want to get some pizza at some point today. Cardboard box filled with documents irrelevant to the case. I don't know. I find any type of box filled with documents is pretty relevant to anything. Nothing suspicious. Just a bunch of circuit boards. Hello. Ah, now we're cooking. Remaining documents. Rental invoice. Storage unit client ID AD94431 17.
is ordering you to break into the apartment of a reporter they don't like? Any comment before I write a story on that?
I am here to investigate domestic terrorism.
OCP sent you to my safe house because they want to know what I have on them after the bank incident.
I assume there is more if you cannot store everything here. I found a rental bill for a locker in a storage facility.
Make up your mind. First you let me go at the bank, and now, when I'm actually starting to figure out what the OCP scam is all about, you show up and ruin this. Do you want to help OCP avoid liability?
Hmm. Fascinating. Illegally obtained evidence is invalid.
Your evidence is invalid if you obtained it illegally.
I don't collect it for the court. I won't win against OCP there. It turns out I was right. That thing that OCP plans to do with charging residents of Old Detroit with additional costs, it is a loophole. It will lead to the illegal expulsion of thousands of people if you help OCP silence me.
Explain.
Not so fast. I need to be able to trust you first. At the bank, you've proved that you are more than just a tool programmed to obey OCP, but now, the stakes are higher.
What is it that you expect?
Since you're here, I fully expect someone from OCP to go and check my locker. I need to protect what's inside, but there's a meeting I need to keep an eye on. Too much depends on it.
I will not be involved in the smuggling of contraband.
There's nothing illegal about my request. I need only one box from there. The one with the inscription Bakery on the corner. The rest you can leave to OCP to pick up. I need to just spring clean my out-of-date documents anyway. Call me once you secure the box.
Sounds like, to me, I need to see what's inside the box.
We should vote Kuzak. The Mills guy's just another suit. He knows nothing about ordinary people.
Probably not wrong on that one. I wouldn't trust a suit. I mean, granted, we have a corporate stooge in office, but... Oh, no. But the way politicians are normally, I feel like, it really is gonna depend.
What do you mean, $1? It's $23.50.
Just walked in here, I was just kind of curious what was going on. Alright. Moving on.
You're late. Sorry, I had to take a bus. Freaking OCP robots destroyed my car during that bank robbery.
Forget the bank. Oh boy, I can only imagine what we're gonna find in here.
Man, it's RoboCop.
Huh.
So what? We're just sitting here enjoying the moment. Nothing suspicious. Right, officer?
Shouldn't we give the fellas the signal?
We should just shut up and smile like the exemplary citizens that we are.
That isn't suspect at all.
Are you lost, officer? I can show you the exit if you want.
Expect this is gonna go well, is it? This already seen elsewhere. What do you mean?
Trouble with the lock.
Seems that I forgot the key, but,
You will tell your story at the station.
Are you sure you have enough seats in your car to take us all?
If you do not come quietly, I will not need any.
This is our...
But the amount of coverage he gets and the stuff that's shown on TV, they just would stop at some point, right? Oh yeah, I don't need to reload. I forgot about that. It's got an auto feeder. Well, that happened. Hope getting shot was worth it. Certainly doesn't seem like it. Oh, they were all robbing storage units. A lot of stolen shit in these storage units. Alright, alright. What do we got here? OCP related. OCP related. That seems to be it. Are they fully healed? No. A lot of pressing buttons, holding down buttons. Oh wow. These guys caught on pretty fast. Must have been following me.
Well, well, well. Looks like Mr. Becker was right. You're up to something behind his back. These things are supposed to go to Mr. Becker, I reckon.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, this is the defining moment, isn't it? Do we side with OCP on this, or do we potentially hand over incriminating evidence against the Delta City project? Choices. Logically, we would follow the law and our handlers. But do we give the box over to OCP? Granted, we have a bit of a loophole on this logic because all we really know of what's inside the box is that it's just stuff for somebody else. We don't really know much about the box, so there's nothing really to incriminate Samantha with on the surface. And though I was thinking about opening the box, it was probably beneficial if I hadn't. I'm just delivering a package. That's what I'm going to run with.
What will interest Becker is in locker number 17. The contents of this box are none of OCP's concern.
I'll have to tell Mr. Becker that you have not given us all the material.
I assure you that it will end up worse for you than for me.
So I'm guessing you have my stuff. Did OCP arrive at the party?
They tracked my location.
Because they trust you so much. Speaking of which, the box. What if I lied about it? Did you ever think of that? There may be a bomb inside or the head of my sworn enemy. Do you want to know what's inside?
No. I trust you.
No. The sound of your voice does not indicate that you are lying.
Just don't depend on your lie detector when you talk to politicians. In the box are my personal belongings. Letters, memorabilia, things that actually matter to me. When you become too tough to hit directly, the scum will try to get to you through your loved ones.
I understand.
So we have even more in common. Once OCP takes care of my old documents, I'll have the space to deal with the Delta City issue and help the people of Old Detroit. You've helped them already, though. Thank you. Ronnie's Grocery. Leave the box there.
Fascinating. Well, she told me anyways. And it wasn't even anything bad.
I have Samantha's belongings.
Yes, I'm glad you're helping her. Without that girl, OCP would put us all on the street. Still might. They did a number on a lot of families, hers included. Samantha's mother took it worst. But that's not a story for me to tell. Anyway, leave the box in the back, next to the cat food. She's supposed to pick up everything tomorrow.
Letter to Samantha's mother. Ms. K. Ortis, they're accusing you of falsifying evidence because they want to discredit you, but I don't believe them. None of us do. I understand that the media and OCP is one of the same. Your actions will help others understand it too, but don't let them silence you. Someone has to speak out on our behalf. Someone must stand up against them. E. Interesting.
Smoking is dangerous, not to mention illegal.
I don't give a shit about either.
Then you must suffer the consequences.
No one in this country values independent thinkers anymore.
You're smoking in front of a gas station, my guy. You could blow the whole thing at the Kingdom Come. Shut the fuck up. This isn't a question about... What's this? I passed by this several times.
But I can't see my FTO anywhere. Could I have his name, please? Over. Sure thing. It's Officer Rat. He should be in one of the dumpsters. That's the only place he belongs, if you catch my drift. Over and out. Right. So much for my field training.
Huh. Wonderful. You always seem to find yourself in a bit of trouble, don't you, Ulysses?
Requesting readiness confirmation.
Yeah, thanks for the offer, but maybe the others are right. I might not really be cut out for field work.
Time to take control of your life, Ulysses.
If we live the way others want us to live, what kind of life would it be? Or rather, whose?
You're right. I want to be my own man. Officer Washington reporting for field training.
Good, you have your body armor on. Well done. What about the rest of your gear? Service pistol?
Got it.
Spare ammunition?
Check.
Duty light?
Never part with it.
Good job. Preparation is the most important. So is knowing your surroundings. Are you familiar with this area?
Isn't this the part of the city where it gets really busy like all the time?
Police!
I think that answers my question.
Please! I need your help!
Set the radio to my channel and follow me.
Roger that.
An officer needs to be confident. Straight back, sturdy walk, together with a clear and unshaking voice.
I like where this is going.
Officers, thank God you're here. I really need your help. What happened is...
When responding to a request for aid, the first thing is to introduce yourself to the potential victim. Watch and learn. I am Officer Murphy. How do you do, madam?
Well, to tell you the truth...
The second thing is to reassure the victim of their safety. Madam, you do not need to be afraid anymore. We are here to help you.
Yes, but it's not about me.
The third thing is...
I'm quite familiar with the field training manual, so if you don't mind, I'll take over. Ma'am, could you please tell us what happened?
It's my cat, Fortune. He's missing. Fortune is my biggest treasure. I can't lose him.
Do you have any idea where he might be?
The only place I can think of is the basement. I've also heard some ruckus coming from downstairs today, but the lights aren't working and my eyesight's not so good anymore.
Is it okay for us to investigate the basement?
Yes, it makes an excellent opportunity for low-light training. Let us proceed downstairs.
Good luck, Dad.
Very interesting situation.
Pat has that name for a reason. He really brings fortune.
Turn your
so
flashlight
don't you come back
on.
without him.
Right.
Duty light can be advantageous, but it can also be a liability. Keeping it close to you creates a clear target for the violators. It is good practice to hold the duty light away from your body.
I don't remember reading that in the field manual. Did you get it from a different book?
No, from experience.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll try to shoot at the light. Animal trace, no match.
Clear.
Hmm.
Clear.
think I just saw the cat. You think I should try to remove these planks?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Wow. I didn't know I had so much strength in me.
You will never know until you try.
Here we go.
What was that?
Finding a lot of animal traces.
Ah, man, I walked into a mess. And now my shoes are covered in strawberry jam.
When chasing a suspect, do not rush head first. Take blind corners as wide as possible. Cuts down on being surprised.
Yeah, his shoes are all red now.
The fugitive has left a trail. This time, pace yourself. Do not get out of breath during a foot pursuit. You will need stamina to engage the fugitive later.
Oh, looks like he stopped by the spilled paint can.
Suspect might be intoxicated.
I used to know these kids who gave their cat stomach medicine to make it loopy.
Is there a moral to that story?
Cats are susceptible to substance misuse. Shh! I heard something. I think it's coming from the piano.
Match.
That cat must be hiding inside. Let me lure it out.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There it is! It's escaping! Darn it! It went through here, but that's a very narrow passage. Let's try the door. It's locked, but I can try to squeeze through that gap.
I will handle the door.
Step aside.
What was that? I'm afraid this time it's a one-way street, Mr. Cat. But where are you hiding?
Where is that feline hiding? Ah, found it.
There he is. Oh gosh, Fortune. You look a mess. You think he's all right?
The cat is fine. You can take it back to its owner. I will clean up any remaining mess.
Okay, see you soon.
Going on here? Did he just explode after falling down? What? Bullet wound, top of cranium, fatal. Heavy blood loss.
It's Washington. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. What is your status?
We've got a problem. I'm on the second floor and have a visual on multiple armed suspects entering our location. Most of them are heading your way, but I can hear some coming up the stairs.
Do not engage yet. Take your time and find the most advantageous location.
Got it.
Officer Washington?
Sir.
Keep cool. I am coming up to have your back.
Glad to hear that, sir.
Look out! It's a tin man!
Damn.
Take my freaking hand off!
I don't think I can hold him off for much longer, sir. We're in Pig. Nowhere to hide now. Drop your guns! Fuck! He got me!
Interesting. If I hadn't built him up with self-esteem and making him get, like giving him charge, I wonder if he would have failed that. Maintenance. The door number on apartment 6 needs a fixing as it turns upside down. The occupier is constantly complaining. Huh? It was... Oh, you know what? I don't actually...
What is your status?
I'm hit.
Remain calm. I am here.
That was tense. I need a breather.
Officer Washington, your performance today was impressive.
Thank you, sir. Means a lot coming from you.
Interesting.
You will be fine. It is only a superficial wound.
See? I've told you that cat brings luck. Isn't this just wonderful?
But yeah, I don't think I remember seeing in the PCB chip that there was anything about single fire. It was just automatically set to that when I switched. Fascinating. I wonder if it still did more damage as a result of it being single fire, though. All right, we did that field training. That was an interesting little diversion from the usual. don't think there's anything else other than, yep. Okay. Might be other things to do around town, but I'm not going to bother right now.
Hey, you. The old man is waiting for you upstairs. This entrance to the building is off limits. You have to use the staircase.
Do you think it's gonna hold his weight?
Doesn't matter. Just old junk that needs recycling. The old man's waiting. So, it's true what they say. You do have some kind of defect.
Oh, it's good to see you, my boy. Leave us. I want to talk to him in private. You have to excuse me for not getting up. I'm in a rather unfortunate state. You did exceptional work at the bank. I want you to know that I am deeply grateful for your service to OCP and the city of Detroit. See, I grew up in this very apartment, or what's left of it. It used to be a thriving neighborhood. Nothing like what you see right now. I always dreamt of turning it into the most prosperous district in the city. A new heart of Detroit. Can you imagine? Or do you think it's just an old fool's pipe dream?
Hmm.
I agree with all city improvement plans that have the citizens' well-being in mind.
Glad to know you approve. Delta City's construction is about to start. Finally, the old and frail will be replaced with the new and strong. Decay and death are terrible things. You lose everything you worked for your entire life. But I don't have to tell you what that's like. It really makes me wonder, has the time you spent in that armor been a burden to you?
Hmm. It allows me to excel at my work, certainly. It is also a burden for the criminals. Allows me to excel.
The enhancements allow me to excel in fulfilling my duty.
Not only your actions, but your words confirm that you're an exemplary police officer. The real reason I've summoned you here is because I'm worried. I'm aware of your instability problems, and it's not a matter that we can overlook. That's why I've requested to have people look after you. Tell me, how are you finding your evaluations with Dr. Blanche?
They increase my performance. They were a waste of time. I like the bottom answer because it seems to be the more nuanced. And there's two sides to everything.
It helps me with perspective, but it also brings out things buried.
That's part of the recovery process. I can imagine it's not a pleasant experience, but I can't express how much I'd like you to keep at it. I'm sure that becoming a liability is the last thing you'd want. Am I right?
That is correct.
Now we've reached an understanding. Tell me, is there anything I could do to put your mind at ease?
These are both interesting answers, but I'm going to focus obviously on the most important part.
My fellow officers worry about OCP's intention regarding their work.
Really? I'll have a word with Becker. Perhaps some new equipment would boost their morale.
It would be appreciated.
I have to say, you brought a lot of hope into this old man's heart. Now, excuse me. I'm not supposed to exert myself too much. Doctor's orders. And you can't argue with them.
He seems like a reasonable sort.
After all, the peace of Detroit depends on your well-being.
They could be lying through his face like they always do. Can I just... Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Superhero landing.
Holy shit! What was that?
RoboCop. Not such a piece of junk after all.
Guys talking shit.
Hey, Murphy, are you done with the old man's tea party? Remember to get back in touch with your informer. See if he has any info that could get us back on the biker's lead. Spike is still out there.
OCP wants to raise towers of glass and steel? Go ahead. Just not where we live.
Yeah, Becker's an asshole. Reed is interesting. I keep confusing the two because Becker's always in Reed's office like a gremlin. Now we gotta cut through town. So far, so good. That was an interesting conversation. I was expecting a few things from it. I was more so expecting him to kind of play off like the very sophisticated, refined businessman type of thing.
They say that if Mills wins, we'll all get an apartment in Delta City.
Screw that. I'm homeless by choice.
But he came off as more so sympathetic. Probably why he's kind of popular, as he is hated.
Oh, it's getting so cold. Luckily, the previous owner didn't need this jacket anymore. And it has no bullet holes.
He's slowly becoming one of my favorite characters. Alright. Well, with that, I think I'll leave this episode off here just about. I'll just go ahead and rank up RoboCop a little bit here. Focus on psychology. Alright. Yeah, and now with that, I shall definitely cut it here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Game's getting pretty interesting.